Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So many consultants are confused when Microsoft rebranded Dynamics Nav to Business Central, and so previously we are able to just for some simple changes for the customers, like adding a field, adding a column to the page if the field already exists in the table. So it's very easy for us to do it from the CAL development environment. We can just do it on the page and add that field from the table on that page and compile the object, and then it will, when you close nav and reopen, then you will be able to see the change take effect. So but after Microsoft rebranded Business Central, rebranded Dynamics Nav to Business Central, and then so there's a cloud version, Business Central Cloud, and also there's from October 2018 there's a Business Central on-premise version, and also there's a big change after this October 2019. So if you install Business Central with 2 release, then you will now see the traditional CAL development environment like this. You will not see this anymore. So then many consultants are not able to make simple changes to the customer, just add a field to the page to do those simple changes. And so they want to find a way how to do it. Actually, it's possible to do it. And so in this video, I will show you some tips, okay? So the reason I'm still have this development environment, and because this version of Business Central is 14. It's the spring release of 2019. It's not the Wave 2 release of 2019 in October. Okay, so but yeah, so we don't have this development environment in the October Wave 2 release 2019 anymore. Okay, so let me show you how to do it. So first you have to install this Business Central Wave 2 release, right? You can easily download it online. It's very easy to Google and find this. So I'm installing the North America version. So all the installation steps is the same as previously. So you click on the setup, they give you some, you can choose the custom components to install. Then you will install EL development environment instead of the CL development environment. Okay, so after the installation, then so basically you will see like you have 3 components installed. The no, not this one, sorry. So that's for the spring release. So you will see that's for the spring release. For the Wave 2 release, let me see where I have it, because I have 2 instances installed on my computer. One is the spring release, one is the October Wave 2 release. So yeah, so let me double check here. Business Central. Okay, so it will install this business. Oh, so this is the Business Central Windows app. It's not the one like I'm talking about. So so, and also another thing is like if you install Business Central October release on top of spring release, then you get some errors for, and you install both version on the same computer, then you get some errors for the server administration component. So what I did is I have to uninstall my spring release first, install the Wave 2 release, then reinstall my spring release. So the lower version comes later. Okay, so yeah, so this is the one actually, but it just changed the icon, so I don't recognize it, because this icon, so the Wave 2 release will have the icon similar to this. You will see it like this. So this is the icon for the spring release, but because I have to change the order, I have to uninstall my spring release and install my Wave 2 release first, then reinstall my spring release. So after I reinstall my spring release, it just changed the icon. So after you install your Wave 2 release, you will see the Business Central Administration shell and this web client. You don't see the Windows client anymore. Okay. if you open your web client, so the best browser to open it, what I found so far is using the Chrome. Then otherwise, if you use some other browser, you may have some issues when you do the design from it. So what I do to add a field to the page is like I have to select design. So this is the web client. This is the web client, and so for this Swift 2 release, you will not have a sandbox because it's not like on the cloud. You have an instance of the sandbox, then you have an instance of the production online, right? So this is your in your on-premise environment. So then you only have one instance, and you don't have a sandbox instance. Now you have to create another database in order to do that. Maybe copy this production database to do that, right? Okay, but you have to install another instance. So I have to use this design function to add the actual column. So if I click on design and see I'm using the Chrome, so I have this field come out. If I use Internet Explorer, it seems like it does not support that anymore. Then I won't have this add field come out. So I'm just clicking add the field, and then you have your available options here. So let's say I want to add a shipment date so it's ready, so it's not placed. If the shipment date is on the page, then the status will say placed. Okay, that means you already placed that field on the page, but it's ready, so it's not placed. So we can drag until you see the vertical line. So when you see the vertical line, then you can place it. Otherwise, when you place it, it will not take effect. Okay, so that's just place it before the due date. Okay, so after you use the designer to make this change, then if you close this, then it will ask you to save the change. Okay, so let me see here. Yeah, so it's already here, right? So if you think you're finished, you click on stop designing. Then it will ask you to save this extension name. So let's say just call it sales orders with shipment date, and put my name as the publisher. So just put my name, okay, and click on download code, save. Okay, then at the same time, because we click on download code, it will save a zip file to your download folder. So if we go back to our download folder, let's see. Then let's sort by the date. So you could see this. Okay. So this is the one we just saved, downloaded the code. This is our extension. Let's copy this extension to my EL folder. So I'll tell you how to get that EL folder. You can create a folder for your VS Code. Okay. So to do this, actually, you do not need to be a very experienced developer to add this. And if you're a consultant, then you just install your VS Code on your computer. So you can install this Visual Studio Code. You can easily Google it and download it online. And after you install this Visual Studio Code, so when you open this, first you have to do some setup. Okay, the first step is like you want to make sure your AL extension is up to date. So you have to go to your extension and go to AL language. And so you see I already have it installed. That's why I only have the option uninstall. If you don't have it installed, then you can just install it. Click on this and install it. But because I already have it installed, it will give you the option uninstall and disable. Now you can check the version. You can see my version is 4.0.191880. This is my EL language version. This is the latest. This is the latest version I have. Okay, so I already have the latest EL language version. So next step after this, that you will want to go to because I need to drag this down. Okay. So you will want to go to the first page and let me see, I don't have anything open, right? So if you say if just say here, actually my search bar disappeared because I'm also not a developer, I'm just a consultant, so not too used to this environment. Okay, and so usually when you have this, now even you don't have a search bar, you have to use you see this command line, these commands, right? It just gives you some shortcut, like the commands you can use in this environment, some quick shortcut. Okay, so the first shortcut, Control-Shift-P, is the most useful shortcut. So this will show all the commands for you. You see on the top, I don't have a search bar now, but like a drop down list search bar. But if I click on Control-Shift-P, then I will see that search bar come out. Let's click on this. You see? This kind of like search bar to me, okay? And then the first step I need to do is like I select this AL Go. So when you do this, then it will ask you to save your project to a folder. So, because I already did something before. So before I do this, I just want to show you guys what I did. Okay. So in my extensions, I ever played this around with my colleague. So he did some design like what I did, and created the extension like this. Then I just deployed it to this environment. So you can see I have this sales order with due dates installed, right? And if you double click, then you can see this publisher is David. The reason for this, and I'll show you later. So I have a folder here, and in order for me to deploy that extension, I need to have a .app file. I need to have this .app file generated. Okay, so this is the app file of the extension, which can upload to your environment. And but I just did another example for right now, right? This zip file is the new one we did. So I'm gonna extract this. And by comparing this, you see, I'm gonna compare this for you so you can easily understand what is the difference between these two folder. Okay, then you can know how I can upload the app extension to the environment. So you can see I have this AL file, I have this app.json file, but I don't have that .app file. I have this VS Code folder, but I don't have the AL packages folder. Okay, so this file, app file, and this app packages folder are the most important ones. So what is in this app packages folder is the runtime, the version for the runtime and system application, business-based application for your AL code. Okay, you need to have this in order to deploy your app file. If you don't have this package, when you compile, you will not generate this app file. Okay, so this folder, which has those system application and base application, is very important. And also this app file is important for you to deploy it. You have to compile to generate this app file. So if I just used the designer and created my zip file and I extracted that folder, I do not have that app file. I do not have that AL package folder. Then I'm not able to deploy it. So how can I generate those? That's the question, okay? Because most of the consultants who used to nav and who is not used to Business Central that do not know how to generate those folders. Okay, so I will show you how to generate that. So I will, just to avoid the conflict between the previous extension and this new one, I'm gonna just uninstall this one, okay? And then I'm gonna just unpublish this one, okay? Just in case if there's any conflict. So when I click on unpublish, it will be gone from my list. You don't see that sales order extension anymore, okay? So it's gone, completely gone. But it's still in your AL folder. Then let's see how can we generate the .al package folder and generate the AL file, the app file. So first step is to generate the .al package folder. So that part is easy because what we can do here, as already did, I'm gonna close this. Okay, so we did Control-Shift-P, and then we did ALGO. So first, we have to make sure we have to enter the folder name. And I have to clean up my folder name because I already created something here. So I'm gonna just delete this, okay, for now. So then you, okay. So it's, I'm just gonna delete those just in case, like, still trying to delete. Okay, so just, okay, so I have my AL completely, but what's the, let's see what's the error message one. I'm just gonna delete this one. An unexpected error is keeping you from deleting the folder. If you continue to receive this error, you will use the error code to search for. Okay, it seems like I cannot delete that for some reason. Okay, that's fine. So the reason I don't want to have this because I want to show you from the start. I can rename my folder to something else, then I can show you to some start. Okay, that's fine. So let's go back to our environment. We go to our VS Code again. Then we will start from scratch again, okay? And so we click on Control-Shift-P, and we go to ALGO, and we just call it, because we want to create the AL package folder. In order to get that, we have to, I'm just call it Business Central Wave 2. So this name is different from that BC Wave 2. So then I will be able to create this folder. Otherwise, it will say the folder name already exists, okay? So then I click on Enter, and then it will ask you to choose the runtime for your environment. You could see the runtime 4.0 is Business Central 2019 release Wave 2, and 3.0 is Business Central Spring 19 release. Because we are on the Business Central 2019 release Wave 2, so we need to select this runtime. Okay, so this is the environment for our AL code to run. Then see this next step. It will ask you which environment you want to connect to. So you can connect to your cloud sandbox for Business Central. For this BC 15 Business Central Wave 2 release is the version 15. Okay, or you can choose your local server. So this is my local web server. After you install the Business Central Wave 2, then if you select the web server component, then it will install this automatically. Okay, so we will select our local host BC150 for now. Okay, so you can see after I did this, let's go back to our folder, double check. Okay, so we have this. Oh, you see that BC Wave 2 folder automatically got deleted. Okay, so yeah, so we have this environment, okay, generated, and we want to make sure. So how can I generate the .al package folder? That's the next step. We have to download the symbols to generate those system application, base application package, okay? So we have to click on Control-Shift-P again, and then click on download symbols. Then you see it's doing its stuff. And after it's done, when you go to the folder again, then you will see the EL package folder there, okay? Let's wait until this to get done. Authentication has been cancelled. Let's try this again. Download symbols. Authenticating the Business Central Visual Studio Code. Let me see if I got any authentication box. No, I don't. Okay, so let me see. Oh, I got it. Okay, so I missed one thing. The reason it got canceled because I'm using my Windows authentication, but you could see in my launch.json file, and I got interrupted by my colleague right now. So I got a little bit distracted. So, okay, so I need to change from user password to Windows authentication because I'm using the Windows authentication right now. Okay, so okay, so yeah. Okay, so let's try that again. If we download again, then we should be fine because I'm not using the user password authentication. We are using the Windows authentication. Yeah, you can see it went through. Okay, so it says the symbols have been downloaded. So we are good now. Then we have to go to my folder. Go to that folder. You can see the same folder, but we have the EL packages folder generated with those system application and biz application app files. So these are the files we want. So those are the symbols you need for your environment, for your Business Central Wave 2 release environment. And then when you go to this, so what you have to do, the best thing you have to do, you copy this. This will be the folder you want. In order for you to compile in this environment, you copy that folder to this, copy this .al packages folder to your extracted zip file folder. After you did this, and then you can open that folder from your environment. So I'm gonna open this folder and select folder, okay? And another thing I want to do, because I want to make sure my launch.json file is the same, you see? Localhost 7049. And I want to make sure this is the same as the port number doesn't seem to be right, okay? Because the other one for my web client is 8080, if I remember properly. So then the launch.json file is not good. So what I want to do is like I want to copy that this launch.json file is under .vs code. I want to copy that same launch.json file to my folder because I'm lazy. I don't want to. Okay, so I'm just gonna delete this, then copy that from that package, the Business Central Wave 2 release package to here. Then if you refresh in your VS Code, then you will see it changed, right? I don't have that port number. I'm using the local host, and this is the web client connection I want to make. Okay, and so now it's easy for you to deploy it. You just press F5. The package could not be created. Let's see what is the error message. Sales order and the version compatible could not be found in the package cache. Compilation ended. The package could not be created. Okay, so yeah, I remember my localhost. Let me see my localhost. How comes I remember my localhost has 8080? Okay, so let's open the folder again. For this one, let's see what is my. We copy that, so it's the same. It's the same. Okay, so then we just switch back to this environment and try again. Let's switch back to this and try again. No problem have been detected in the workspace so far. So we switch back to this extension we're gonna publish. Click on F5, see what error we got. Oh, it says started. So it seems like something was cached before, that's why it didn't work. Yeah. Oh, it still says the package could not be created. Let's see what is the exact error. The correct server name and instance are specified in the launch.json file. Yes. 7049 BC 150 that packages. this port number 7049. Okay, so using reference symbols, cache path, targeting server instance, using Windows authentication, sending request to dev package. Oh, it got confused. Yeah, so it got confused. So that's why. So it's still trying to send this to that David, So that's why. Okay, so something is not right here. Because I created this the same as I unpublished the other one. Oh, how comes I'm still using the sales order with due date extension here? Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. So we already unpublished this for the extension David, so we have to remove this part. Okay, and then let's see. Yes, we have to remove that part. Then let me see. So you have to know a little bit of the code in order to do this. Dependency. Where's the my bracket on the top? Oh, it's there. I saw it. It's here. My bracket on the top is there. So I just need to. Okay, got it. So what I need to do, I need to remove the comma on this part. Then you see all the wave is gone. Okay, I mean the curve like means you have some warnings or arrows. And now I can just F5 try to compile again. So the process to do this, like you need to have, it still says the package could not be created. The control customer discount group is not found in the target sales order list. Customer discount group 1000 started. User sales order with shipment error. The control customer discount group is not found in the target sales order list. Okay, so now we can go to here. So this is kind of, okay, after customer discount group, it's saying like we don't see this add after customer. We don't have this. How comes it's saying add after customer discount group? That's not true. We don't have that customer discount group on our sales orders. Yeah, so we added the shipment date. Let's see where we added that. So this is changed back. It's changed back. So I remember we added that salesman date. Where's that due date? Even the due date changed. Okay, so understand, because we did this file first. We created this extension first, then we uninstalled the extension. We played around. The previous extension I played around with my colleague David. So what we have to do, we have to do this again. So this is a troubleshooting process as well, because after I uninstall his extension, I did my extension on top of his extension when I customized this page, right? Because at that time I still have his extension installed and published. And then after I did my extension, then I uninstalled his extension and unpublished. So this page is not there anymore after I uninstalled his extension. I hope you guys can understand that part. So then we have to do another one on this page again. Otherwise, what he's talking in that code is talking about, because it's saying I placed my shipment date after the customer discount group, but the discount group is not there anymore, so it cannot find it. Okay, so that's just completely remove what we did so far. But you guys understand the steps to do this, right? Now, so I'm gonna remove this, and Okay, so this is a interesting troubleshooting process as well, and you have more fun when you see all these arrows. So okay, so now this will be the page without any extensions. Let's check the extensions to make sure we don't have anything. We don't have any sales order thing here. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so now let's start from scratch again. So let's just go to sales orders. So another thing, just out of topic, like you have for the Wave 2 release, you have this bookmark. So when you bookmark the page, then it will go to your dashboard on the row center. So this is a pretty nice feature. Okay, so then we customize this again. We go to design and add field, and we want to add that shipment date. Okay, so we want to add that after the customer sell to customer name. Remember this? We added after the sell to customer name. It's here. Then we stop the design. So then I'm gonna delete the previous one I had there. So in my download folder, I'm gonna delete all these just to avoid confusion. This and this. Okay. Okay, so extension name, we still call it sales order with shipment date, publisher Jesse, and we want to download this code. Okay, so now we can quickly do it because we already created that Business Central Wave 2 package. We can just copy this and do some quick stuff. Okay, so we have this. So I'm gonna just copy this to my other EL folder and put it here and extract this. Okay, so after I did this, you see I don't have that AL package folder. So I'm gonna just copy this folder from there to here. Okay, to here. And then I'm gonna copy the other file from the VS Code, the launch file from my Wave 2 to here. So make sure we connect to the same environment. That's the local web client. Okay, so delete this launch file and paste. Okay, good. And now everything should be good. Then we open that in our VS Code. Let's open our VS Code again and open the folder. Okay, so open the folder from the EL. And we're gonna open the sales order with the shipment date folder. We don't want to save the previous one. We want to open a new one. So this is the new one. We just want to check the launch.json file has the right thing here. Localhost BC150 Windows authentication. And let's double check this. Yeah, we added after sell to customer name. Now you understand, right? So the previous one was not done properly because we still have the other extension there. And let's see if we have any dependencies city here under the app.json. No, we don't have that dependency anymore. Everything looks good. Okay, so now we just click on F5 to compile. So if it's successful, then you will have the app file generated. It's a success. But I have to enter my login. To authenticate my Windows login to authenticate. Okay, so let's check the message. Let's first check the extension here. Yeah, we have this installed. Double click on this. Publisher Jesse is successful, okay? So this is how you see, success, the package with shipment date has been published to the server. So this is how you connect to your local web client for Business Central Wave 2 release web client. And if you are doing it from the sandbox, the process is pretty much the same. So your purpose is, so now after, at the same time of my deployment to my web client for the extension, if I go to my this folder, I will see the app file is generated. You see? here is my app file. So this app file is generated. So that's the app file for your extension. Okay, so this is the process for how you can connect to your local Business Central Wave 2 release and deploy the extension to it. And as a consultant, you don't have the CAL development environment anymore. So you can learn some basics of VS Code, and you can use VS Code to deploy the extension like you made to add a column, multiple columns to the page. There's some page layout change, and you can do that and deploy that as an extension. Then that will apply across your tenant. Okay, that will be applied across your tenant. I mean the web client tenant. So across this tenant. Okay, and so on the cloud, if you have your Business Central on the cloud, it's the same. But the difference is like you only in the sandbox you have the design function, and in your production you only have the personalized function. So you have to use the designer in your sandbox and generate that zip file, download that zip file. Then when you click on, remember we have a step here. When you click on Shift-Control-P, then create your folder, and then create your folder for the environment. And after you create your folder, you can select if you want to connect to the Microsoft Sandbox, Cloud Sandbox, or you want to connect your local server. If you select your sandbox, then it will use your Office 365 authentication to connect to your sandbox. And you have to make sure you have the authentication set up properly in the launch.json file. And it's the same. Then you select the runtime, the platform. If your Business Central Cloud is still using the spring release, then you have to select the runtime 3.0. If it's a Wave 2 release, you select the 4.0. Then you generate the .el package file, that system folders files first. Then you copy that to, so what I mean, you still have to generate this first, but for the right platform, then you copy that to your folder, similar like this. You copy that to your folder, and make sure your launch.json file has the correct authentication set up there. And then you, when you click on F5 to deploy that extension you did, then it will generate .app file, and the extension will be deployed to our sandbox. Okay, and if you want to, your extension is already there after you designed it. But the reason for us to generate the app file is we have to use this app file to upload to your production in order for you to deploy that change from your sandbox to your production. Okay, so the on-premise environment is a little bit different because you only have one environment, you don't have a sandbox. So your only web client for Business Central is both your production and sandbox. So you have the designer there. So that's why you don't need to do anything with the app file anymore. But if it's Business Central Online, then you did a design in the sandbox, then you use these steps to generate .app file, then you use this file to deploy to your Business Central Cloud production as the extension. Okay, so I think that's everything I want to share in this video. I hope it's useful to the Business Central consultants. And thank you for watching this video. I hope to see you guys again next time.